Keeping venomous reptiles is an unforgiving hobby, requiring proper training and lots of experience. One simple mistake can be the difference between life and death. Remember, the most venomous snake in the world is the one that just bit you. There are no venomous snakes with training wheels. Just because you see viperkeeper handle snakes a certain way does not mean you should try it too.
What's up with you? You're not shooting all over the cage like a crazy snake. Are you going into shed? Oh, well, that's of interest too. Yes, you can see a slightly bluish tinge on his eyes. That's the infamous Mr. Kazakanovi, one of the small viperid species from Eastern Europe. Very cool species. Again, I'm very disappointed. He used to have this just brilliant orange. If you know, I may insert a picture of him when he was a youngster, but he's gone black also. So we'll just let him do that and eat. Him, I'm not going to even bother with one of these. Hello, Mr. Speck. As you can see, folks, Mr. Speck has really adapted to his cage. I think he likes his cactus in that position to hide behind. So these are not exactly hot, but I think you know, he'll take it nonetheless.
Yep.
Yep. It's even in the right orientation, so I'm pretty certain he will suck that down. So we're just going to leave him be and let him do his thing. Mr. Milos, I'll give him something later that may be more appropriate for him. Meanwhile, we'll give this last one to the bottomless pit over here. Come on. This won't satisfy her, but maybe, I see the hut moving, which means that I sort of got her attention. Food? Yes? Is that what you want? You missed it, you dumbass.
I think she needs glasses.
I think she needs something. Hey, no, not me. Of course, I am the biggest object in the room, therefore I am, come on. Come on. Well, you were just such a dumbass. No, bite the glass. I tell you, I really have challenged snakes. They just have trouble. That's all I can say. Again, 63 million years in evolution and can't figure out what's food and what's not. Alright, so she's making a mess of that, so I'm just going to shut that. That's the only one I have. I'll have to clean up the glass later. But, always entertaining. So let's see how hungry the Echis ocellatus are today. Oh, you just scared it. Oh yeah, I know, I saw your lips move. Are you hungry, huh? Huh? You're very shy little snakes. Alright, you're not going to take off the forceps.
Yeah, I scared it too much.
Yep. Are you hungry? Huh? Yes, I would say that qualifies as hungry. Now for number 3. Hello. You want something to eat? Huh? Oh, I'll say. That was a serious bite. Here, Slink. Come on, bud. Come on. Sorry to inform you, but he was already dead. Come on, it's okay, it's safe. He's not going to hurt you. Come on. Alright, I'm going to leave it because Mambas can be quite unpredictable. A lot of times he'll strike and he'll hold. That's not happening today. So I am not going to chance a mamba flying around the room, even though I think the chances are low, but they're not zero. So, Slinky, are you thirsty, or are you just derping because that's what you do, huh? Easy. I'm just going to give you some water. You want some water? There you go. Slinky, of course, is a Jameson's mamba from Central Africa. There's Jamesoni jamesoni, the main species, and this is jamesoni kimose, a subspecies. And Slinky has been with me for a number of years now, I think since like 2005, and is pretty good. I used to let him out and about, but he has become a little bit more difficult when he comes out to roam. And with one mamba bite under my belt, I don't want another, so we don't do that anymore. Especially now during COVID. It's just not a good idea to interact with the animals too much. Cages are a bit dirty. The snakes that have trap boxes get serviced a lot more often now than the ones that don't. I bought a whole bunch of new trap boxes. One of which you can see on the table there, that I will be placing in some cages as things progress. And this way I can, if they're inhabiting the trap box, I can close the door and safely clean things up. So there you go, Slink. There's a big drink for you. So we'll continue on with what we're doing here in the lair.
Can continue derping.
Hey, wait, stop. You stopped the water. So I fed two of the habus, the elegant pit vipers, as they're also known. They're Protobothrops elegans. And the third one I separated out. She's in another Vision 221, like Mr. Brown's cage, in another room. But I left two in here, and they were each in their logs, and each grabbed the chick that I gave them, and I went about doing some other things, and all of a sudden I found the snake from on this side had dropped its chick and was over investigating the other one, like, hey, where's my chick? So there was a little bit of aggression starting to take place. So the safest thing for everybody, including me, the hibou that's in this bin temporarily started to come out and started to get really pissy because the other snake was on top of it. The other snake was trying to eat the chick and couldn't figure it out because it's mentally deficient. So this big girl really was giving me some difficulty and was being very snappy, and now is going to play snake hockey. You know you're pissy. Here, go back in and leave the other girl alone. There you go. So I had to separate them, and these cages are currently clean and unoccupied. I have some things in mind for them. The other dwarf water cobras that are over there, I want to move into here, but I want them to. I want to get a little bit of a screen top for these because I don't trust snakes, especially cobras. You know, there's maybe 3/16 of an inch, about 3 to 4 millimeters on the top of these when they're slid in, and that amount of space is all a snake needs to do. And I had one tragic occurrence. A female barred spitting cobra tried to escape and got caught and expired, and I found dead, sort of partially in, partially out. It got its airway blocked and suffocated. Well, the other thing is, you know, you can look at the bright side. It's much better that it died than got loose in the room. It's sort of a sad way to look at it, but no one wants, and Lori and I do not want any of these snakes out of their habitats unless we are with them, like the hibou here on the floor. So it was a sad occurrence, but it happened. Nothing I can do about it. But I want to get some sheet metal screens to put over top to prevent these guys, the dwarf water cobras, from maybe slipping out. We have our standard ringed water cobras that are in there, but they're not interested in going anywhere. They're only interested in food. So it's not such a big problem. So, but the dwarf water cobras are much tinier, and I don't want to take the chance. But I would like to put them in there because it makes servicing them all the more easy. If you look over here, they were just fed last night. Here's the female out looking at her water dish because she knows when I take the glass out and I service her water dish, there's a chance that there's some food in there. And that generally happens on Saturday night. The last thing we do is we throw 2 rat pinks in there, and we throw a bunch of bass shiners in there, and they go to town during the night and eat them. Or sometimes we find fish out and about on the ground, and they, you know, jumped out of the water when they were trying to escape to being eaten, but it was certain death either way. But now she's out and about because I just cleaned and replaced her water dish, so she can have some fresh water to drink and to use it as a toilet as they normally do. But see, in order to service her water dish, because it's large size, because we put fish in there and we put pinks in there, rat pinks, I have to take the glass out, and Lori has to stand here and monitor while I go clean the water dish and replace it. If, like the other ringed water cobras over there in the bin across the way, if I can put these guys in there, I can just slide the bin open, take out the water dish, close the bin, go clean it, put fresh water in it, and it doesn't require a babysitter because the glass has been removed from the cage. So as soon as I can get some sheet metal and get it bent on a metal brake so I can make a lid for those tubs in there, at least those 2 tubs. I only need it for 2. Then these 2 guys will get shifted over, and maybe we'll put some of the death adders or something else in there. Maybe the Russell's vipers that are in bins right now will get moved up to a bigger quarter. So we'll see, but there's her cute little face, and you can easily see, I mean, she can flatten herself out really well, like almost 2 or 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters, 5 millimeters in size, and maybe wriggle her way out of that cage. And the male's even smaller, so that's the reason why those 2 bins are sort of sequestered over there. We can see Thud's junk, because Thud's up above waiting for something to eat. He will, he's actually not up above, he's circling around there. His cage needs to be cleaned, but I haven't been interacting with the animals and taking them out unless it's absolutely necessary, because taking a bite right now with the situation at the hospitals and COVID is really bad. Thud's pretty easy going, so I could easily probably do him. As long as I put him in a tub and I left some food in there, he would be very happy. And you can see he's very excited about Lori's fingers, because he thinks that there's something to nibble on.
He's hoping there's food.
Well, this is the mom that had all the babies. This, of course, is Alessa Thunder Island pit viper, also known as the blue insularis, but they don't necessarily always be blue. Well, when I came in after my trip this week, I noticed something that that was absent before I left for my trip, and now is there, and that's a baby shedding. So that leads me to think that we left the baby behind, so to speak. I don't see it there. And Mom's been feeding like crazy. The babies took, about 8 days to have their first shed, and I had thought that we had gotten them all 13, but I could be wrong. But I don't see anything. I would think the little sucker would start scurrying. I haven't seen any sign of it. So I'm a bit at a loss, and of course I would like to get the little sucker out of there, so so I can, feed it and care for it. But other than taking the entire cage apart, I don't see right now where it could be possibly hiding. And
There's a hole. There's several holes in there.
yeah, I know, I see that.
Could it have gotten inside the log?
Well, it could. I mean, there's definitely pictures of baby Eckes crawling inside the log. For a hiding spot, but you know, I don't, and she's there locked and loaded, so I am trying to stay out of her relatively long reach, but we're just going to have to keep our eyes open and see if we can confirm that somebody's in there. I really don't want to disturb her because I want to feed her, and she looks like she wants to be fed too. So we're going to abandon our search right now, but definitely keep our eyes open.
All right, well, a real mystery.